See man about a horse.
Dead or Alive 6 is a game that feels in conflict with itself. It's simultaneously one of the most accessible and enjoyable fighting games I've ever played, offering a raft of ways for newcomers to get to grips with its various systems, alongside a fairly sizable single player mode. And then it's also one of the most terrible, dated games I've ever played, and I love it. It is a beautiful train wreck of a game. So let's get started with what's good about Dead or Alive 6. Well, it is, at its core, a very, very competently made fighting game. It is very simple. It's not too complex. Anyone with even a passing interest in fighting games, like myself, I'm not an expert, can just pick it up and learn how to play it really easily. A lot of the core attacks, such as punch and hit and special moves, are all mapped to one button each, which means that it's really easy to chain them together, and it's got a really nice difficulty curve. So it's one of those games where, yes, you can button mash and it does feel like you are doing something. It's not like Street Fighter where, you know, button mashing gets you nowhere. You can just hammer buttons and you'll start to build up, like, naturally an understanding of how it works. But I believe that fighting games are only as good as their tutorial content, and Dead or Alive 6 probably has one of the best, if not the best, tutorial mode of any fighting game I've ever played. It walks you through all of its core systems and combos and just lets you get to grips with them in a really nice, accessible, easy to digest way. You can even select an individual fighter and it will teach you how to play as that character, from their most, you know, basic combos all the way to their most complex special moves. It's incredible. The amount of educational content it provides for you is second to none. It's pretty clear straight away that Dead or Alive 6 is just great fun to play. It's a really well put together fighting game that has no intention of punishing you, and I think that's kind of what sets it apart from other fighting games I've played. It doesn't want you to struggle or suffer, especially not in its single player modes. It wants you to have fun. So that difficulty curve I mentioned before, it is so gradual, it's brilliant. So there's lots of single player modes for you to choose from. There's an arcade mode which has lots of different difficulty options, which I really appreciate, including a baby mode, which is the only one I can do, but I enjoyed it. I can finish an arcade mode in a fighter. That's actually really good. There's something called Dead or Alive Quest, which is effectively a challenge mode. You've got like 100 odd challenges, which puts you in different scenarios and gives you a couple of different tasks to complete. You can get up to 3 stars per level, and that's just a really fun, nice, gradual thing to work your way through. It's very basic, it's nothing too deep, but as like to turn your brain off and have a bit of fun battering people about kind of thing. It's fit for purpose, it's good, it's a fun time waster. Then there's the online modes, which are fine. I understand that some people have some concerns with them, but to be honest, this might put you off this review. I understand that. I don't really care about the online modes in fighting games. I am so wildly incompetent at fighting games that I don't normally play the online modes because I get battered really easily, and that's not very fun for me. But from what I played, you know, they work. The net code is a bit off, but they're fine. They're fine. I'm sure there's plenty of other reviews out there that go into this stuff in more detail. It's not my wheelhouse. I won't try and comment on it. I don't understand if it's good or not. I think it is. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about the bad stuff. The single player mode is trash. It is complete and total trash. It is the most awful single player mode of any game I've played in probably the last few years, and I absolutely fucking love it. It is hilarious to me. It is baffling as to how something so disjointed and weird can exist, but I love that it does, and I could not stop playing it for the best part of a week because it's just the worst. The story mode is fragmented by design, so it's split into like chapters and episodes, and each character is split into like these rows. It has the most confusing user interface of anything I think I've ever played. Like, if you can see this on screen right now, it's just, what is this? It's a mess. And what's even better is that when you enter these episodes as different characters, it plays like an opening cinematic, and then you fight, and then it closes it off with a cinematic, and there's no context. Things just happen. Characters have conversations that make no sense. They're in scenarios that make no sense. For instance, these two women are just like in a dinosaur park, but there's like, do dinosaurs exist in this universe? I mean, I'm not like well read on Dead or Alive lore, but this just feels real weird. Then they're on a pirate ship, and then is this woman a demon? And this is the guy from Ninja Gaiden, I think? What's happening? Do I care? No, I don't at all, and I love it. I just love how messy it is, and it is messy. It's an absolute mess, but it is a wild ride, and I loved every single second of it, and I would not trade it for the world. I am so happy I got to experience this. It was the best. It's not just the story mode that's a mess either. Like, the whole ethos behind the game, like the driving force behind the whole game is clearly about the women and their boobs. Everything you do in the game is just to unlock stimpier outfits for the women. And I'm aware that that's what Dead or Alive has always been about. And I think that's, you know, whatever. It feels very dated. It feels super dated because, I mean, of course it does. It's 2019. But the best thing is that in the run-up to release, Team Ninja were trying to make it out like Dead or Alive 6 was turning a new leaf. That it was moving away from its embarrassing approach to sexualizing women. And then you play the game for 5 minutes and you notice that this character with huge boobs wears this t-shirt that just says milk on it, and you're like, why would you lie? Like, it's weirder to act like you're being progressive, and then the whole game, the whole focus of everything you do in the game is to unlock outfits like these. And it's like, alright. To be fair, all of the outfits in this game are really odd to me. They all look like they've been ripped straight out of 2005. Look at the absolute state of this outfit. Why? Am I missing, like, something really obvious? Is Dead or Alive set in, like, the mid-2000s? Or is this a classic outfit that fans will, like, identify with and be like, oh yeah, that's just, you know, that's the classic outfit for this character? Or is it just super outdated in every single way? And honestly, I think that's kind of what appeals to me about this game, is that it does feel like it's from 2005. It does feel like the PS2 game, and I kind of really like that, because for me, this is like a perfect 7 out of 10 game. It's not good. In fact, it's got so many flaws that they're super noticeable, but they're part of the charm, and it's part of what makes this fun. And I think that's why I kind of did it. I don't think it's worth 60 quid at all. And the fact that a lot of content is already locked behind a season pass, part 1 of a multi-part season pass that costs more than the base game, it's just, that's ridiculous. Absolutely baffling. I would not have spent maybe more than £15 on this, but like, if it drops in price, it's absolutely worth having a look at. If you kind of like decent, accessible fighting games, then overlook the ridiculous fan service and the fact that it is obsessed with its female characters. It's like, it's so obsessed with its own female characters. Like, there's cheaper ways to have a want guys than, you know, make the 6th entry into a long-running fighting franchise. But if you can overlook all that, this is fine. I kind of love it for how terrible it is, but it is just kind of fine. Put that on the box. Dead or Alive 6, it's kind of fine. And it has the best, worst single-player story mode I've ever played. And you can actually watch a few of my favourite clips from that story mode on this video that I uploaded yesterday. So you can go have a look at that. Just thought I'd put them in a compilation because I just wanted to share the strangeness of this game to the wider world, I suppose. So yeah, Dead or Alive 6 is a beautiful train wreck. Not a huge passenger train, like one of those small trains you sometimes get in shopping centres, and you're on the train and it's kind of crashed into a sweet shop, and it's a horrible crash in that it's destroyed most of the containers, you know, the pots full of M&Ms, and they're all raining down on you and people are screaming and panicking, but you're just in this horrendously colourful situation, just enjoying the chaos that doesn't affect anyone unfurl around you. Does that work? I don't think that works. This is another rambly review that I haven't written a script for. Does this work? Do people not mind this format? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you're going to pick up Dead or Alive 6, or if you're just going to go and watch my video of all the cutscenes and have your fill that way. That's fine too. Man, what a game. It's all I've been thinking about for the best part of a week. I have other, much better games to be looking at, and every single night, I've just been like, no, I'm gonna play Dead or Alive. Anyway, thank you. Please like and comment and subscribe, whatever. The usual stuff that I need to say, otherwise the algorithm doesn't let people watch my videos. Bye!